dive down towards the pier and then come in his trademark position, which is no normal way to fly an aircraft, believe me. Here he comes in now, dipping in, going sideways, smoking on. It is Richard Goodwin with a pit special. And what is that extraordinary noise that you're hearing? Well, it hasn't just got one normal engine on the front, it's a very big piston engine, but actually, up the front end of the fuselage, it's got two little jet engines as well. And that's what you heard suddenly kick in. And that enables the aircraft to go, virtually keep going up, and then stopping in a hover. It's quite exceptional. And this man being right at the sharp end of really outstanding, unlimited professional aerobatic activity, rarely flies in a straight line, always throwing in turns. Here he is, spinning down towards the sea, all perfectly under control, and actually the head is going whizzing around. Imagine putting yourself in the spin gyre and just selecting fast spin for the next 10 minutes. You can imagine how you might feel, but in the hands of this guy, absolutely consummate and very, very dedicated, committed pilot and client. This aircraft built from scratch over a period of 4 years. It's based on a Pitts SQS fuselage and incorporated with a whole set of tested modifications that he worked up on his red and white aircraft you may remember seeing here in past years. That was called G-Whiz. One of the biggest difference here is with the wing design. He's working with a guy called Eddie Sorenham from Aeroworks, and he's really made a difference in this aircraft. Big ailerons on this with a bigger wing area as well. Gives it, as you can see, jet engines kicking in now. It's just an absolutely phenomenal machine. So take it back around about 80 years or so ago, there's a fellow called Curtis Pitts out in the States. He's the man that came up with this particular design. Now not this one, this is a connected model, but in the mid-60s, so it was affects the art of aerobatic competitions. He came up with his first Pitts special, and they all had a little skunk on it that was painted on the side, and the person that really made that famous towards the end of the 40s, early 50s was actually a lady called Betty Skelton. And she nicknamed her aircraft a Little Stinker. And if you're ever across in Washington DC at the Dallas airfield, then there's an extension of the Smithsonian exhibition in there. And before you go to the space shuttle, look up above you and you'll find Betty Skelton's original Pitts special hanging upside down from the roof of that particular museum. Looking back at Richard though and his extraordinary machine, he spent thousands of hours in modifying this and bringing up to spend years and years of his time building the wooden wings himself and just making all the parts a little bit bigger. Well, the routine, as I mentioned, is just between some 9 and 10 minutes, and the majority of the up and down, left and right of the AX is just 150 meters from you. It's been modified to fly with additional thrust from those two Lynx jet engines, and they have two completely different operating systems, two completely different fuel flow systems as well, giving you a total available thrust of this aircraft up to over 1,600 pounds, which is exceptional for an aircraft of this size and class. Engine, like I'm in 540, gives you a good 1,000 pounds worth anyway, but I mean it's just absolutely free. That uses gas of course, but there's also 300 pounds either side with the two Lynx jet turbine engines using jet fuel A1. During the display, all three engines will function much of the time. He's able to apply, of course, with variable thrust, with all of them forward, but some of them not, and he's able to recover the aircraft with just one source of power as well, whether it be prop or turbine. had DNA in his blood for eons. His father was the Hunter display pilot for the Royal Air Force many years ago, and Richard himself trained and was on operations on the Tornado GR4 for many years before deciding to go commercial. He had been many years on the 787. Here now, this is his passion, this is what he works for all the time. Very, very popular around the air display, event sites, and I think you can see why. Now, a little bit of gyroscopic activity there connected to the counter rotation from the propeller, but actually proving at the same time that he's still totally in control despite there being virtually no airflow. Each maneuver throws in a lot of rolls, some of them are snap rolls and tumbles, dives. At the top here will demonstrate a few hammerheads as well. And as I say, rarely flying a straight line for much longer. Here, converting all that height plus the power of the engine into total energy, which gives him all the requirements to now comfortably go through a series of maneuvers on an upward way. So they're not quite under what we call a long jump, because he's actually still going forward, but actually using the maneuvers fairly similar to that, putting in the rolls as he's on the upwards trajectory. Looking as if he's going into a loop, but he won't. He'll put it out at the top. A phenomenal rate of roll with the size of the advanced wing, the huge wing area, and the additional ailerons he's put on there as well. All helping to give him a lot of options. Again, getting on into the hollow, now up to full power. Look how he can just hold that a little bit of gyroscopic effect coming into play now. Just hold it. This doesn't come easy. Literally years and years of practice and training has gone into this, and it's not something you can do lightly. He needs to get up and do this a couple of times a week, just to keep the G-flex and routines and clarity in his own body. It goes from literally extremes of he literally throws the stick around the cockpit. Max rate turns here using full really close. He smiles upwards. Really fantastic shape. Great day for using smoke here. All a bit hazy yesterday with the Riviera. Tricky, strange weather. Today just perfect. Now you just hear giving the engine a bit of a cooling down, just repositioning himself for the next series of maneuvers. If he's looking out for you, picking up his appropriate position for this, going inverted now, looking like he's rushing to his head. Converting that now into an outside turn, literally increasing the amount of negative G, around about -3. Very, very uncomfortable position before converting that into more positive, much more comfortable flight. It's a tiny little thing. It looks quite large out there, being the only aircraft in the sky. When you get up against it, it really is the aircraft very much part of the whole machine, and back into its knife edge configuration. He's done this chasing cars down runways, cutting ribbons between balloons in the sky, and not many things he hasn't tried. Thrust. He's got a power ratio of 1.1, so he's got excess power there, letting it hover, now, still under control. Lowering it in, letting it now tumble over. Picking up the speed as the airspeed picks up, you get more control back into the all the control surfaces on the airframe. And then quickly picking up speed as well. Quite nose heavy aircraft. So 2 sets of levers, 2 sets of fuel controls, an awful lot of activity going in the cockpit, as well as, of course, manoeuvring the stick and the rudders to both initiate and then recover from those violent maneuvers.